And I still don't really look at numbers, and people often say, oh, how many members do you have? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't really like to look at that data. I know it sounds so crazy, but for me, if people are happy, I'll know, if we're doing well by the energy as I walk in our space. And I think being in that space every day and giving people the opportunity to chat to me, I know what's going on. I know how people feel. And my staff, and being really connected with them is priority for me.
Hi, I'm Jerem.
And I'm Barry.
We're from NovoFit, and this is the Mate Spot Me podcast. In this podcast, we're going to speak to experienced and upcoming fitness industry leaders with the goal to give you 2 to 3 gems that you can take away and insert into your business.
In today's episode, we're joined by Beaux Glenn, a Genesis Health and Fitness franchise owner, fitness leader and community builder. Beaux has navigated the journey from running an independent studio to leading within a franchise model, and along the way has built a reputation for inspiring teams, celebrating people and creating strong community culture. Together we'll unpack lessons from that journey, explore the role of group fitness in driving results, and share advice for operators who want to grow with impact. Let's get into it.
You've got to really have a good experience in a group fitness room, or you'd never walk back in. If you go in and someone's literally wooing and screaming and everyone's, that can be really frightening for people. So that experience, can turn them off group fitness. So you've got to have really good leaders in there that are credible and have experience with lots of people, because you've got to be able to teach and instruct, but also connect individually with a room of 40 people.
And entertain as well.
Add regressions, progressions, have fun, laugh, and then be serious. So it's a big gig, and if it's not done right, it can be failing for a business.
Well, that's why we got you here, Beaux. So welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Very excited to chat to you today. I think having known you a little while and been involved in some really cool projects, was super excited to get you on. Group fitness, we'll talk a lot about that, no doubt. And even just hearing you speak about it, you can just see how passionate you are. And I think there's a lot of nuggets in there. Really looking forward to your discussion around coming from an independent owner, group fitness person into owning a franchise group and then doing super well at that. Don't know if you know, Beaux was a teacher. So she's going to teach you a few things today, I reckon. Just line him up.
I don't think I could ever go back into a classroom.
Why are you like that with me?
Hey, just keeping an eye on him, all right, Beaux. So, but welcome. It's awesome to have you. So I think, we were just chatting about group fitness and knowing what goes on in, Genesis Lilydale and how you build out that community, I think is a really unique thing in our industry. It's to see someone deliver group fitness at that level and do it with real passion and commitment, and hearing you speak about it, you can see, you can tell what people love going there. Where does that come from? Where does
I think, you've got to have your team. We're so big on group fitness, but our team is the ones that deliver it. So I've been really lucky when I first started, backtracking to my independent business. I had a really good core group of women that were members that I trained up to be instructors. Right. So all our coordinating team at Lilydale are those members from my last business, which is pretty amazing. So majority of our staff have been trained up to be instructors from back in the day with me. So one of our instructors, Luke, he was doing group fitness with me 15 years ago and became a trainer and has been with me ever since.
How cool is that?
Yeah, and he walked in the room, he did the class. I actually saw him at the water fountain, and this is going back old school Phoenix days in Murrelbach, if you remember.
Yeah.
And I said, are you coming into the class? And he's like, okay. It was his first time ever in a gym. Got him in. He walked out and said, I'm never doing that again. The next week, he happened to be in the same spot filling up his water, and I'm like, oh, you're back. And he's like, came in again. And from that day on, he never left that class and became an instructor, and he's still instructing with us today. But he's in his 30s, so he's way too old to teach body pump and body combat. So that's a joke because we're a lot older and we're still teaching. Yeah. But he teaches RPM for us and body pumps. So, yeah, it's pretty amazing.
It's funny, isn't it, that first instinct in a gym is to be, I just want to be in my own space. I just want to control my environment within this intimidating space. And then we're trying to get people to take the leap to go and do a group fitness class with 20 other people that have probably done it for years, that know the instructor, that get along with each other, and it's like this leap. But once they're in, they've drank the Kool-Aid, they are on.
Yep, they're on.
And I mean, that's such a cool story to hear that you've been able to pull staff from that as well, not just members.
Basically, all of my staff. Yeah. So our core groups, so obviously I have a coordinator for group fitness and reformer and a head coach for Coaching Zone, and the assistant manager were all members, and train them up. And at the end of my independent gym that I had, it was time, they'd had young kids and it was time for them to get more hours, and I wasn't able to really offer it because I was a small boutique place. So this transition from independent to a big box, it made sense in a lot of ways to support them and their transition into more hours and more growth. And I think that's what great leadership probably is about, watching the growth of others. So, and that's been a big part of the journey.
There's people you trust and know as well. So for you, it helps with stepping into this big space that's very different to what you've been doing.
And a huge risk. Yeah. And a risk that, came about within a 24-hour make a decision.
That story to me is cool. And I think, so interested to talk more a little bit, that was all happening at the same time, so I can't imagine your headspace. It's like you're an independent owner, you're working in a factory or in a back streets of Lilydale.
Yeah, in the industrial zones.
Hustling away. You've got great people around you. No doubt an amazing community vibe.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about where you went from was it Market, like down the back there, Market Street or whatever it is? Like how do you go from there to owning one of the most successful Genesis big box clubs? What happened there?
Interesting story because at the time in Lilydale there was a big old squash centre. Lilydale Squash and Fitness
institution, right?
Yeah. And it was.
If you ask people in the industry, they've worked there.
Everyone's worked there. I've worked there. 45 years of really members, and I think after COVID things had shifted a little bit, and they decided to sell the building. And there was all this gossip around Lilydale, and up in the valley, it's they know this and they said that, and I was listening to the gossip, and I'm thinking, what is going on? And at that time, this was my third factory, so I had two at one time. Then I combined them into one big one, so I had three, and then I had another big one. So we just moved into this big factory that my husband had built the stage and built the creche.
Blood, sweat and tears.
Blood, sweat and tears. And during COVID, my kids were there doing stuff with us. And so everyone found their home again, our dynamic cardio community. That was the name of it. They found their home. And I felt like at that point with my member base, they could come to me for their group fitness, and we'd do small group training with strength training. But Reformer had come out at that time, and I felt like even though I could only offer this, I wanted to give my members more. And how do I do that? They're paying for their membership with me, but then they're wanting to go and try a Reformer or go and experience a class at a different time that works for them, because in a boutique, you open the doors for your sessions, you close the doors, you're out. And, we don't have that 24-hour access. How do we provide something, especially for my members that were women, how do we provide something that they can access all the time around sports? Because I'm like that as a mum, around sports, around your work, around family life. I just can't get to the gym this week. I just don't have time, because we were on such a structured timetable. So I tried to get two factories next to each other in an industrial zone, so I could have a gym that I could maybe operate 24/7, and then a group fitness big factory. But with council, you can't have two fitness facilities in an industrial zone. So when I'd caught wind of Lilydale, I'm like, it's a massive space. I would love that. But no bank's going to look at me, after COVID, fitness industry, So someone had said, Genesis are looking at it. And I thought, geez, that's big competition for me in Lilydale. And Lilydale's got a lot of boutique places. And I actually really love that because there's something for everyone. And the whole point of being in this industry is allowing people to train and
100%.
better themselves. So, I really like that. But I thought, geez, this is going to be interesting. And I thought, well, the only way I'm going to find out is to call. So I did. And I worked for Genesis Ringwood years ago, just filling in classes there, and I knew a few of the staff. So I made a phone call and just as a sticky beak, from the valley, saying, hey, what's going on with that old squash centre? And straight away, the person on the phone, who I know now, she's like, why? Are you interested in a franchise? I'm like, and I'm like, just play along, Yeah, I'm thinking of it. I just thought I'd inquire. Look, do you mind if we call you back in 5 minutes? I'm like, okay. Hangs up. I'm like, geez, what have I done? I've just opened a can of worms here. They're going to call me back. And anyway, they called me back, and it was Simon, who is, a national fitness manager and is actually was the club manager at Ringwood. And I remember him because I'd fill in classes there. So I'm like, hey, this is Beaux Glenn. I'm just, sticky beaking. And he's like, is this something you're interested in? Because obviously, I've been in the industry a long time. And I said, well, maybe, not even thinking of it. And he goes, let's meet up. Where are you now? So it was bang like that. He goes, we've got 24 hours to make a decision on keeping this space, because apparently that particular space was going to be a Kia car yard. So they had to make a decision within 24 hours to take on that lease, but they would only take it on if they had a franchisee. So I ring my husband and I said, hey, so I made a call and now this guy's coming out to meet me and I'm thinking he's going to think, this is what you get. You've been a sticky beak and now look what you've done. And he didn't. He said, I think this is great.
Oh, wow.
So then I freaked out even more because he was so supportive about it.
You got the green light.
So I'm like,
You're on.
we're in. So we actually met and we met at my little factory. I can say little now because it used to be big for me. And we sat on a bench press and had a conversation, and it just clicked for me that it made sense for my members that I could give them more. They weren't, and they were so committed to me and DC. I knew they'd never leave me, but I knew that they would venture out because they had to. They didn't have a choice. So I'm like, this is going to be the best for them. It's going to take a lot to convince them, but it will be the best for them. And for my current staff, I knew it was time. Their kids were now getting to school age and they needed more work. And I'd encourage them, go and work at other clubs, get a feel for it. But I knew that expanding would give them an opportunity to have more of a full-time job. So there were those elements that really drove me to say, yep, let's do this, sign my life away.
It's just the universe working in such funny ways.
It is,
so many
yeah.
green lights of, the phone call, getting Simon Grube to give you a ring back. And I mean, he's a lead at that. He's all over those things. And, to have that frank conversation with you and then be able to identify that there's a good, rapport there and a good opportunity. The fact that you're growing out of the facility, the fact that your staff needed you to do more at the time.
Yeah.
I just love
Still
those
a
two
risk.
motivators around the people. It's like two of the key motivators for you were your people and your members. Like, that's great.
And that's my key motivators every day. And I'm not a numbers person. I love, because when I caught up with Simon, he had data and spreadsheets and all of this stuff. And I thought, if he does all that, I'll be okay. Because that is not my skill. That is not my gift. And I still don't really look at numbers. And people often say, how many members do you have now? I'm like, I don't know. I don't really like to look at that data. I know it sounds so crazy. But for me, if people are happy, I'll know, if we're doing well by the energy as I walk in our space. And I think being in that space every day and giving people the opportunity to chat to me, I know what's going on. I know how people feel. And my staff, and being really connected with them is priority for me. So, yeah.
That's a mic drop moment. That's cool. I think, and even when I meet you and speak to you, generally you're using, it's anecdotal, you're using a story like, well, Steve was in the gym the other day and John said to him that this thing is happening. And so it's through lived experience, it's through actual reality, rather than talking metrics and numbers and strategy. It's, well, on Monday I was doing this class and this person come in and so there's real connection. And so I think there's something in that for owners and aspiring business people. If you're in it and you own it and you get the heartbeat of the business, you understand what's going on.
Absolutely.
You can really support it.
People see you reacting to it as well. Like if they provide you feedback or something, they see that you do something about it.
Absolutely. And the members have that authority, you know, that they're so loyal and committed that we have a bit of a joke with some of our members that they're our unstaffed staff. So when we're not staffed, I know that I've got these members in there that they actually have Genesis hoodies now and everything, because I'm like, well, you represent.
You've recruited.
They are there keeping an eye on the place because that place is their second home. So their feedback is, you know, so incredibly valuable to me, because if they're feeling like that, who else is? So, you know, being around people and hearing the feedback, talking, giving people opportunity to share, it helps us all grow as people.
How have you done that as you've gotten bigger? Like, and maybe it's by recruiting them. I just, you know, having a 1,000 members or a large facility, cool, all right, that's difficult. But then as you get bigger and bigger, how have you been able to maintain that? Because my experience is definitely it's still there, that family, community engagement. Like, how have you kept that going?
I think this was the biggest challenge for me going from an independent to a big box, was that I knew every member that I had in my independent gym. I knew their family, I knew their story, I knew what I could give to support them, I knew what they needed at that time. And then coming into this big box gym, and initially, you know, we have your starting number, and we are just, you know, we've got a huge member base, and I felt really awful because I don't know everyone. And that really affects me. And I had incredible people from Genesis support me and say, hey, you know, it's okay. You're not going to know everyone, and that's okay. People are going to come and go and you're not going to know. That still affects me to this day.
Yep.
That often I'm a bit of a weirdo. If I'm down the street or around the block, I say hi to everyone just in case they're one of our members. So I'm like, we don't know each other yet, but we might soon, kind of feel. And I feel like that with our gym floor crew, because we're a double-story facility. So downstairs is all the gym floor, upstairs is kind of all the group studios. And I spend so much time upstairs that the downstairs people, you know, I don't really know them all as well as I would like. We know our core groups, but there's a lot of people that I don't know, and that really affects me. So that's been the biggest challenge for me, is not knowing everyone.
I think my experience is that you've got people around you that you've kind of replicated you.
Yeah.
And so you've created leaders within your business that are doing that now.
Yeah, and look, you're 100% right. Like, our team is so amazing, and not just our staff team, but we've got such a strong member base that are actually staff, my unstaffed staff, that are on the gym floor, and they recognise someone that's new and help them out. Or I see it all the time, and I love this. Like, this is my favourite part, when I'm about to teach a class and I see someone new come in, and I straight away see members that I've had. You know, it's funny that I even call them my members, because they're literally my friends, turn around and acknowledge them and go over and help set them up and support them. And my job's done. You know, I can stand back and see that ripple effect of all my trainers and members taking care of others. And that's what makes the community what it is. So even though I might not know them all, I've got members that know people on the gym floor that I don't know, but they've got that connection with them, which is really, really special.
That's powerful, because people are training, right? People are getting healthier. People are going to the gym regularly because they feel good.
And this
they
is all
feel
we
supported.
want. Yeah.
That's a magic place. So you mentioned earlier your superpower. And so group fitness is something I really want to unpack.
What did I say?
I'm not going to share the superpower. And so, group fitness is, from your feedback is that's your vehicle or platform for community connection and building people.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about that. How does the group fitness program at Genesis Lilydale support that community engagement?
I think we've got such a huge group fitness, but also a coaching zone, which, people might put under that umbrella, but they are very different things. We've got a huge community up there. I think it comes way back from my independent. And like we talked about earlier, I was a school teacher. I always taught in gyms. When I was at uni studying, I taught in gyms. I was working at Deakin in the gym, and I loved group fitness. My mum was a group fitness instructor, so I was raised in the group fitness room. I taught it as my job. And then when I started school teaching, it was like, I'm going to have to stop, and I never did. I still taught my classes throughout the week when I was teaching, went on maternity leave and kept teaching and built up, because I loved it. Like group fitness, people know it's never about the money, it's about the love and the passion for it. So when, we started Genesis, the conversation was, look, we don't do they have a group fitness program, but it's not really their main focus. Yeah. They have coaching zone, and they were just bringing in really reformer as well. And I'm such a huge group fitness person because I truly love it. I said, well, it's going to be different here. It'll be really big on group fitness. And the reason being is my members that have been with me for 20 years doing group fitness, they're the ones that'll spread the love of really just training and exercising and working out. And when they do that ripple effect, we've got a healthy community. Yeah. So even if it means it's just their husband that comes and trains on the gym floor and they do group fitness, which we have a lot of as well, now it becomes a family thing. And then we've got their kids come along and they turn 14 and they're so excited to get their gym membership, and they've got to train with a parent or have a parent supervise. So, okay, well, I might as well join as well. So dad's there, their son's there, and I kind of feel like initially that came from group fitness because it was all their partners or their friends or people that were like, oh, she's been going to this gym, this little factory, and now I guess I can come along because there's another option for me. Yeah. So it's rippled off in that way. But group fitness, the stats say it all, really, in my eyes, that you work 26% harder when you're in a group fitness class. Isn't that crazy? Effort. That's the effort people put in. You're more motivated to come and work out because you have friends or you meet people, or the instructor like me says, can't wait to see you tomorrow. And they're like, I've got to come back tomorrow, right?
Poor Luke getting his
Luke
water.
Now, yeah, that's right, getting his water and
like,
suck it in.
Peer pressure to
yeah, that's right. So, group fitness has this effect that it's actually achievable for everyone as well. You walk out feeling success and you're equal in a group fitness class. And I mean that because often as a solo trainer, if you're on the gym floor, you're competing with yourself, or you're by yourself, or you might be with a gym partner. Up there, there's regressions, there's progressions, there's people smiling, you're next to someone, they're with you like, oh, do what you're doing. It creates real equality that everyone fits in and everyone feels good. And then we release, our great endorphins, and we go out mentally well, we feel stronger, we feel fitter, and we want to come back. And then they do come back, you know.
Start all again, right? There's a real resurgence for it. I think, community social fitness events like your High Rocks and your marathons and fun runs and, park runs, there's a lot of those things that are happening where people are looking for social connection. And group fitness is the original one of that. It's the OG.
Yeah, it is the OG. And we live in a lonely world. And I think we got really lonely after COVID even more, and isolated. So when you can walk in, and I see people walk in and they literally walk straight up those stairs to group fitness. They won't even look at the gym floor. That's their little safe place, and that's where they've built friendships. I'm actually going to a wedding tomorrow of one of my members, from who's an OG, and basically the whole wedding is the gym. So we've had to change our schedule, our timetable, because we've got no instructors. So we've had to pull and source people to take classes because we're all going to be there. So this friendship and connection is retention, and it's for life, and I say this isn't for now, like this is for life. We're here for life. So there's pressure, isn't it?
I don't mind that as a class cancellation thing. All classes cancelled today due to such and such as wedding.
The day after the wedding. The day after the wedding, you might have to have like a later session so everyone gets to sleep in.
I'm telling you, we're still committed. We're like, we will be there no matter what condition. But
so I think hearing you speak about your people as well is always fills me with excitement that there's leaders out there that actually care about their people genuinely. Like your story earlier about wanting to open a bigger gym so that your staff and your members had somewhere to train, rather than you want to open a gym to make profit or you want to open a gym to create a business. It's
actually never been that, which is the most crazy thing ever. Like for people with we've done really well at Lilydale. I still can't believe it. Like for the reason that I've never, ever looked at that. And when I guess taking that risk was, oh, wow, we've got a lot of debt now because we've got a lot of equipment. We've got a lot of this happening and staff. And my husband is a very chill, calm kind of guy. And he's like, it's fine. It'll work out.
That's so good.
It's all good. So I'm like, okay. It's like, don't think about all that. Don't worry about it. So I haven't. And I feel like if we've got the right team, a really strong member base, which I had transition over. So we already had the numbers that we were surviving, like, okay, if we can survive, then it's okay. That was always in my head. If we're at numbers that we can pay everyone, that's all that matters. But, I've got to bring it back to my main team who, they worked their butts off when we opened. And my member base from my independent gym, they worked their butts off. And I said to them when we closed the doors, because it was very emotional for a lot of people, because they felt like it's over, like our little community's over. I'm like, no, now it's our responsibility to give this to others. So it's up to all of you to do this. And they absolutely did. And then, embracing people and supporting people has been pretty phenomenal.
Clearly. And your people love you, right? You can see that, I think, when you speak to them and you see them operating day to day. They're happy, to your point earlier. And so happy people equals happy members. And so everyone's excited in there. How do you keep them going? How do you reward your people? How do you keep them excited and motivated? What are the things that you do day to day to keep them locked in and going?
I think this is a really good point. I was very lucky the last few weeks to go and visit some other sites around Australia. And I feel like to have a really strong team, they really need to feel valued and have that connection with them all the time. So just checking in, knowing about their life, and it's very easy for me because our core group are like my best friends. So we connect all the time. It was funny because I've had a week off because I've recently had a little bit of surgery, and one of my girls, our coordinator, said, I feel, and it was a really beautiful moment because she said, I feel like I take for granted that we see each other every day and I can bounce stuff off you every day. And I've got so much to tell you because I haven't seen you, and I think being present all the time, so you're always a sounding board, so we're all not carrying the load on our own all the time, and being an instructor or a coordinator or in that position, you're often up and taking everything and taking on everyone's stuff, and then you go, oh, I'm exhausted after. So to be able to debrief with people that understand it, so I think having that credibility to know how they feel, to have your regular meetings all the time, whether they're productive or not, whether it is just a debrief session or a really productive session, but also reward. Like I was really excited because last year we had an opportunity to go over to Singapore, and I took our main coordinating team as a surprise to go over there and experience Les Mills live over there because it was Body Combat 100. And I remember being at the franchise conference last year, and I spoke to one of the guys, Les Mills guys, and I said, so can you guarantee me VIP passes there if I bring my team? He's like, yeah. And I remember telling my girls, okay, how do you feel if I take you over to Singapore? And I just wanted to reward them and do something as a team that was still, going to help us grow and learn, but to say, I appreciate you and I love you for what you do. Let's go and celebrate all our hard work that we've put in over the last 18 months opening this place. And it was so special having that time together to do that. So I think, obviously can't take them every year to Singapore, but doing those little things, to thank them. And even, the girls at the front, when they cover or fill in, and a little voucher or extra cuddle or, just a message to say, oh, geez, you handled that well. Thank you. People need to be noticed and they need to be valued because they deserve it. So, yeah, I think that's really important. And most importantly, professional development. Every year, my staff, my instructor team, my core team, I pay for their training because, the more knowledge we can get in the now, the more we give to our members, that we can educate them, and it keeps the fire in the belly. So sometimes we get a little dry in that, day to day. So having something to look forward to, getting trained in, bringing it into the club, teaching each other, getting excited about it, reignites that fire and passion.
How do you juggle all this? You're a mum, you're a successful businesswoman, running a great facility, lots of energy, lots of time. You train a lot, you're teaching a lot of classes. What's the trick?
But I think I remember when I first opened Genesis, or just before I opened Genesis, the team at head office said to me, "Oh, you won't be teaching anymore. Now that, you're a gym owner."
I can imagine how that went.
And I'm like, what? I'm out. I'm pulling the pin, and that really shocked me because I thought, that's why I do it. I love it. I love being with people. So I didn't take their advice and I kept teaching. And I think that's what keeps me afloat.
Yep.
As much as people say, you should pull back and you should have a rest. I'm talking about my family members. I'm like, if I'm not in that room with my members, in that studio, connecting with them and teaching what I love, what's the point? I think that's what keeps me going because every day it gives the reason why I do this. Every day it reminds me of the reason why. And I think often in business we can forget about the whys and we get caught up with maybe data and numbers and profit instead of going, well, what's our core value? Why are we here? And for me, I want people to move. I want people to feel great. And I want them to live a really good life forever, for as long as possible, but happily. So, yeah.
That's pretty cool. You got any opening jobs? I don't know. I want you fire me up. And I think this is...
I might go and start doing some traditional group fitness classes again. Get back on the stage.
Les Mills are bringing out... What were you saying earlier? Les Mills are bringing out...
We've got a few new programs. So I'm taking our team up to Sydney in November to experience... They've just announced it, so I'm allowed to say it.
Ooh,
Body Pump Heavy. So it's a new program for the body pump lovers that will be going heavier, I'm guessing. So
is that
we'll
an exclusive on... That might be our first exclusive.
Yeah, exclusive.
Body Pump Heavy. I can imagine, Jez, that might be your sweet spot.
Used to be my go-to.
Yeah.
Caulfield Rec Centre on a Saturday morning at 8:30.
Yep.
Oh.
Pump?
Yeah,
so
good.
So you take them up. So that, I think that's a really... And let's chat a little bit about that. Like, I think that's a really great sign of where... Not just the traditional group fitness resurgence, but that there's more programs coming. Which is quite
it's like pivoting.
New. Yeah.
Yeah. And you've got to stay in touch with that all the time. So Les Mills is also bringing out yoga. Les Mills Yoga. They've brought out Les Mills Pilates, which has been amazing for our club. Les Mills Yoga, so 4 flows are a part of that. So we're going to experience that to bring it into Genesis as well. So we're super, super excited about
Body
that.
balance still a thing?
Body balance is still around. We offer it virtually though.
Yeah.
So basically at our club, we've got about 40 reformers a week, about 40 coaching zone sessions a week, just over 50 group fitness and about 55 virtuals. And then we also offer on-demand virtuals as well.
Yeah.
So virtuals, body balance is still there. I used to be a body balance instructor myself. So I'm super excited to get trained up in Les Mills yoga because we've got to keep going with the trends. And as you guys know, wellness is a really big part of the fitness industry at the moment and will continue on for a long time. So that's why I love Les Mills, I guess, because they're always staying up to date with everything that's going on internationally. So Les Mills Yoga will bring that into Genesis Lilydale. We do have yoga at the moment, but it just means we've got another offering, as well.
We'll watch that one close. I think the body pump heavy, I'm interested to see that too. I think you can certainly see the last probably 2 years, maybe 3 years, the resurgence of strength, particularly in female, clientele, and which is amazing.
And don't you love it?
It's so good.
I love looking out. Like I'm second level. I look out at the gym floor, and sometimes there are more women on that gym floor than men. And I just want to celebrate because 20 years in the industry, women would go to group fitness, not so much the gym floor. So to see that and see women and younger women coming up, and I've got a 14-year-old daughter who is now, at the gym with her friends, seeing them love lifting weights. It's the best thing ever. So I'm really excited about the next few years and what's that going to bring.
Us too. So takeaways, I think, the group fitness thing for me, a lot of people out there probably don't appreciate the importance of that and the impact it can have. So I think hearing you talk about that and the passion that you have, but the passion that your team have and the culture around it clearly is a unique selling proposition and something that members love. Looking after your people, send everyone to Singapore. Don't get any ideas.
Members and staff. I'm waiting for that.
Recruit staff out of operation, which I think I remember the old days. That's where you used to get great trainers from.
I'm still doing it.
Members.
I'm still looking.
You've got people that are passionate about the program. They want to teach it.
Yeah.
Any final takeaways for you, Jerem?
No, the people thing was a big one for me. And it made me, we've done a few of these now, but it's really lovely hearing you talk about how passionate you are with your people and the program. So it's cool.
Good.
Remind you actually why we're in it.
Yeah.
And it is.
What it
this
should
is
be.
Why. Yeah. And look, that is really my driver all the time. And thinking about the hard stuff of business is, we'll get feedback and you can't please everyone and, you try to. Those moments have been hard, but it's always coming back to our reason why. And I think when you come back to that and you talk with people about that, it changes that energy again of, the whole purpose is because we want the best for you or whatever it might be. And making it a bigger picture for our team and staff when they get stressed or, hey, let's come back to why we do this, and that's a really nice reminder. I
think that's cool. So there's a budding young entrepreneur, business person out there, male or female, thinking about taking the leap and opening a facility. What would be your advice to them?
Be in it, be credible, be present. Often people, and I think more so with gyms, might put people in and step away. Community is created when you're there, when you're in it, and you're a part of it. And I think that's why, Lilydale is the way it is. And it's not just me, it's our team and those members that are present, are really present and are credible and are there, experiencing it every day.
You bloody ooze that. I just sit here hearing you say that. I'm like, I need to go to the gym and do something. So thank you so much.
Pleasure.
It's been an awesome
Thanks
catch
for having
up.
me.
Thank you for joining us. I know this content I think is going to be great for the listeners out there, but we'd love to have you back at some stage. But thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Beaux. Thanks, guys.